Hello amigos and welcome to a Sunday topic video. Yes, it's gonna be a quick one. So I uploaded a picture yesterday and it was kind of like I put like a Trixin logo, but it really isn't a Trixin logo. It's the one that I said that I got for $1. Anywho, so I kind of was like thinking what should I talk about, but then whenever I don't have an idea, I kind of just look on the news and I kind of am like, what's going on in the world. Sorry, I'm like fixing my beanie. Okay, anywho, enough looking at myself and caring about how I look. Let's just not. All right. So I looked on the news and I saw, well, local news, and I saw that there was a baby, or well, it wasn't really in here, but it happened in Utah. There was a baby that was found in a sinking lake. In a car. He was found in a car alive in a sunken car in the lake. I don't know if that made sense, but the point is that the baby was alive and that they found him. Now, what did I think about that? I was like, whoa! Like, sometimes I think to myself and I'm like, there's people who ask, I don't know if you're one, but there's people who ask, is there a God? And if there's a God, why do these things happen? But, when those questions are asked, when you see things like this happen, you're kind of like questioning, you're like, if there was no God, then how did this happen? Or you try to come up with scientific reasons of why the car didn't sink, or why the baby didn't sink, or why certain things didn't happen. And sure, maybe there's a story behind it and I didn't read it, but that was kind of like God's mercy, and also like his grace. So I was thinking about that, and God's grace is amazing. Grace is something that we get that we don't deserve. Mercy is something that we don't get because that we do deserve. What I mean by that is grace is like when you get a job and you got the job and you didn't deserve that job because you were probably not qualified, or I don't know. The point is that you needed money and God saw your need and he gave you that job. Sure, you didn't really you weren't the perfect fit, but God put you there because he knows that you can handle it. Now, mercy is if you're about to die and mercy is something and you're about to die and then God's like put his hand and he's like, no, this isn't gonna happen because I have mercy on him. I still love him. Yesterday we learned about that. Yesterday we learned about the correction that God has for us. How that's more different than or it's different because correction is when we're wrong in sin. Sorry, this turned like from the baby to talking about this, but because it all leads to the same thing. So correction is when we're not doing good, and then God comes to us and he's like, you need to get right with me, you need to start doing things right, and if you don't, I'm gonna let this happen, but come back to me when you are ready. And then something happens and we're like, oh snap, oh yeah, I didn't listen to the voice of God, so now something's bad is going on, now I gotta go back to God. And so you go back to God and then you're like crying or whatever, and there's no point to that. So anywho, the message that I have for today's video, which I'm going to try to do every Sunday. I'm going to try to bring a message to each video on Sundays. If you didn't see last week's, which it already popped up probably, it was about God, how we sometimes run away from God, and how we try to do our own thing sometimes, and then our vision gets taken off. The glasses represented his grace and the vision that he has for us, and every time that we take it off, we kind of die in our own self-centered life. And I guess I just wanted to explain that. Anywho, today's message is God has had grace on you by waking you up today, and if you're alive, it's for a reason. If you're thinking my life isn't worth it, my life is horrible, everything's going downhill, if you're alive today, God's giving you a chance to fix that. Maybe you don't have control of anything, but if you do have control, if you don't have control of anything, you have control of one thing. Are you going to choose to look at the bad side of everything, or are you going to choose to look at the good side? That's my question to you. Are you going to choose to look at the bright side of things, or are you gonna look at the negative stuff? That's up to you. And that's it for my message today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. What's something good that's going on in your life? Let me know something awesome, fantastic in the comments below. I'll read all of them, reply to all of them, and I'll see all of you tomorrow. Peace and adios. I'm gonna make it 5 minutes.